Hakeem Prophet, thank you as always for coming on the show. Your guy, Mr. Dream, coming up next. Very excited to have the dynamic duo today because you guys, I couldn't imagine opening up the NBA season with anybody else. So I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. And I'll be tuning in to see you and Dream do some work on the props.
You got it. Thanks, Hakeem. Coming up now, it's Mr. Dream. Hi, how are you? Happy basketball season.
Yeah, happy opening night, Ariel. Good to see you. What's up, guys?
It's good to see you too. I know that Hakeem is going to be pumped that you're on after him tonight, and we've got some props to dive into. I just love, and for anyone that doesn't know, Hakeem texted me and was like, hey, I know you love props. Hakeem does sides and totals. He's like, you have to meet my friend, Mr. Dream, because he is the guy that does the props. And I love having him on for the NBA season, the WNBA season. I have to get your props here. But what I found interesting was you gave us a round robin, which we really haven't seen on the show. No guests have really given out round robins. And I know my girl Kelly in Vegas loves them in football season, loves them in March Madness. Give people, in case they're not familiar, an idea of why they could be looking at some round robins in the NBA.
Okay, so typically I like to play round robins if I have a 3-legger across 3 games, well, it's usually a 4-legger. And I feel confident about, all 4 legs, and I don't want to just let a plus 7,000 go to waste if one of those legs don't hit. So with a round robin, you can have it so if 3 of your 4 legs in a parlay hits, then you can get some sort of a payout. You generally need to invest a bit more because you're paying for more bets to be covered. But it is a safe way, in my opinion, to cover yourself if you're going to do a long shot plus money bet like the one I'm about to give you guys.
So let's take a look at your round robin for tonight. Walk us through it, because I'm not going to try to do this with all of these, leading scores, first quarters. Walk us through this round robin.
Yeah, so I always try to take advantage of new markets or markets I haven't really seen on these sports books. I'm not sure if this market is new or not. I'm sure it can't be too new, but it really stuck out to me. So here you have first quarter leading scores for the 2 games tonight and then for 2 games tomorrow. No surprise, I went with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, to be the game's leading scorer in the first quarter. Luka tonight against Steph, Giannis, and Booker. Now, Shai, Luka, and Giannis were all top 5 in first quarter scoring last season. So that's kind of where I got that from. Aside from the minutes too, Shai tends to play at least 10 minutes in the first quarter, sometimes the entire first quarter. Same thing with Luka, usually plays 9 to 10 minutes, sometimes the whole quarter. Giannis can go either way, but he's going against the Wizards, so he can have 14 points in the first quarter, no BS. And Devin Booker, no Jalen Green. It's just him, Dylan Brooks, and who knows? So I would expect Devin Booker to get all the shots he can handle against this Kings team that I'm not so sure is going to be good defensively. I'm actually pretty sure they're going to be bad. But yeah, so yeah, that's how I chose to run that. Just a fun. I put 0.24 units for me on on the 4. So basically, if 3 of these hit, it'll be a 6-leg $6 parlay between 3 of these legs if 3 of them hit. Obviously, if only 2 hit, you lose the parlay. I put 0.24 units on the round robin and then 0.6 units on the entire plus 7,000 leg. So just some fun to start the season off. Nothing too crazy, but I actually think it has some good value.
It does have some good value. I like it. As soon as you sent it to me, I was like, wow, I've never really thought to do things that way. And it's a nice payout for getting these leading scorers. Do you ever do these first basket of the game props?
No, I'm not really a first basket guy. If I do, it's because I may have like a premonition about one player, but I'm definitely not a first basket guy at all.
Me either. I only ever did it when I had to do the DraftKings live streams with the NBA, and we would have to do it just because it was fun to do it live and watch it live in action. Okay, so you've got some stuff for tonight, some stuff for tomorrow. Starting with tonight, Alperen Sengun, 18 or more points, around minus 107. How come Sengun's going to be a little more offensively focused tonight?
Love Shingun. So
Me too, mini Joker.
yeah, baby Joker. He's gonna be the offensive hub. KD, we know is probably good for his 25 tonight, but we know KD can turn it on whenever he wants. He tends to like to let his teammates get involved. He's not going to be a guy that's going to dominate the ball. You have Chet, and that's who's probably going to be the primary guarder going against Sengun. If you look at Sengun in his career versus Chet, he's played him 5 times. He's got 19 points 4 of the 5 times that he's played him. The only time he went under, he only got 27 minutes. I think he's going to play 31, maybe to 33 minutes, not 35, 37 first game of the season, but I expect him to get anywhere between 30 to 34 minutes tonight. And if so, I think Sengun maybe hits a 3, but mostly he's going to get this done in the paint. And from the free throw line, I really like it a lot. And for those on DraftKings, this is who I chose to be my, whatever they call it, king of the backboard or the court. I don't know, but there's a promo that you choose whoever's going to have the most PRA amongst the entire slate. And then if you choose the right person, you get paid out in bonus bets. So I know Luka's going to be pretty popular tonight. Maybe Shea, Ben Sengun, Baby Joker. He can always flirt with a triple-double. 25, 12, and 7 game isn't out of the realm of possibility tonight. So, yeah.
How come you're so confident in Sengun when we've got to throw Kevin Durant into the mix with like Jabari Smith Jr. and Amen Thompson? Like, I think with no Van Vliet, adding Kevin Durant, I'm confused.
So, again, like KD is a guy you can just put in for his 25 points a game, similar to what they would hope for Jalen Green. You know, maybe he can score 30 tonight, but I don't know, it was his 18th, 17th season. KD's his style isn't to just come out and dominate. If he's feeling it, he starts off, 5 of 6, then yeah, he'll have 14 points in the first quarter or the first half. But generally, he runs the offense. He lets it come to him. He lets the game come to him. So Jabari Smith Jr., while a talented player, he's going to be more of a spot-up shooter. That's what he's going to do. More like a Fred VanVleet. Amen Thompson. Love Amen. One of my favorite players in the league. But this isn't the best matchup for him because most of his points come in the paint. And that's where OKC is really good defending. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he covered this prop tonight. But I would rather go with Sengun, a guy who I know is going to get a bunch of paint touches and is going to have probably the highest PER of the game outside of I'm sorry, not PER, but the highest usage in the game outside of Shea. Just a big fan of Sengun all over tonight.
That's true. His usage is definitely going to be up there. He is one of the best, if not the best player on this team at this point with Kevin Durant aging. And I'm not saying Kevin Durant's not great and isn't a Hall of Famer. He is. But I get nervous with Kevin Durant and his age. However, I felt his rebound prop tonight. I'm going to talk about this in Prop Queen Edges. I felt his rebound prop KD at 4.5 was very low. I bet the over around -135.
Extremely low. I mean, they're saying he's going to be playing shooting guard tonight. So whoever's at shooting guard tonight, Aaron Wiggins, whoever, good luck boxing out Kevin Durant. But overall, he's just a 7-foot guy who's going to be a really good defender. So when Steven Adams
goes, a good rim protector, he's just not great in transition.
Yep. And Steven Adams isn't going to obviously play 30 minutes. He shouldn't play close to that. So as soon as Steven Adams goes out, it's going to be KD and Sengun on the board. It's a little bit of Jabari Smith Jr. too. But at 5, oh my goodness, his lines are generally 6.5 force rebounds.
Right. That's what shocked me, unless they felt like Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Sengun are going to steal steal rebounds from him.
I mean, even if they steal a couple, I think 4.5 is still pretty low.
Okay, that makes me feel better that I bet the over. It's one of my favorite plays of today. Luka Doncic, 25 plus points. Skinny Luka and Austin Reeves, 18 plus points. You SGP'd that to get -115. How come you decided to SGP these two?
Well, I think the line is pretty sharp, especially for Luka. We know Luka can always, get 35, 40, but open tonight. And I won't be surprised if Luka, he has a flair for the dramatic, has a big game. But I think without LeBron, each of these lines are pretty sharp. You got Reeves about 22.5, and you got Luka 29.5, 30.5, wherever depending on where you shop around. So I figured with each of these guys having a lot of usage tonight, in the way that JJ Redick is gonna play him, he's gonna I can't think of the word, but he's gonna play them separately. They're gonna play separately together. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word, but yeah, so Luka will play and AR-15 will play. That's Austin Reeves. He'll play, and then one of them will go out, and then one of them will have the floor. So Austin Reeves will probably go out first around the 6-minute mark, the 7-minute mark, and then you'll see Luka for the rest of the quarter. And then when Luka comes out, you'll see Austin Reeves running the offense. Austin Reeves last year, and I think he played 8 games without LeBron James. Let me check my notes here. 9 games without LeBron James, averaged 28 points a game. I'm not too worried about Ayton, a nice third scorer, but I'm not expecting him to have.
How come not Rui Hachimura?
Well, Hachimura definitely can hit a few threes tonight. I actually like him to hit his 2 threes tonight, and he can have 17 or 18 points as well. And that's another reason why I didn't go Austin Reeves all the way. I do personally think both of these guys can cover their points.
Me too.
For Austin Reeves, his points and assists tonight. But I just wanted to be super safe. I thought I was getting really good odds at Austin Reeves 18 points at minus 235 on DraftKings. And then Luka's 25 was about minus 330. So once I put them together, I thought it was really good odds, and I felt it was the safest way to go about playing each of their points.
I like it. I like that play because I was trying to figure out how to tell people to play Luka tonight, and I couldn't decide between Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. And I bet Hachimura already, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the show. That is a very good way. And I've heard from many people, and you tell me if you do this too, I've heard from a few sharp cappers that I know and trust in the NBA. They like to do these SGPs with 2 players, getting certain numbers down that feel like nothing's guaranteed, but kind of guaranteed. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, that's the main reason to do it. It's gambling. We can't guarantee anything, but these are like teasers in the NFL.
Right.
If you already like a dog going into the game, at 4.5, you tack on 6 points. You really must like them at 10.5. And it's the same with Austin Reeves. Again, he averaged 28 a game last year without Bron. With LeBron in, he averaged about 20. So I think the 18 is going to be extremely safe, and it's Luka the Don. I couldn't, tell
when
anybody.
You do these 2-leg SGPs, what's the number you're trying to hit? Like minus 110, minus 115? Like where do you cut it off?
120. Minus 120. But I always try, obviously to get the lowest juice as possible, shop around. But yeah, the most I'll go is maybe a minus 125. I try not to lay too much juice with SGPs, but yeah, in this particular one, I got 115, but 125. I think that's okay. What a lot of props are to begin with.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of taking the teaser approach for sure, especially if you're going to lay minus 120, which obviously these days you can't get anymore at the what's it called, books, the legal books. But hey,
right.
We could pretend that we still live in last year at DraftKings. Okay, tomorrow night, the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges, you like him to have 8 or more rebounds. The Hornets obviously going to be probably another season where it's a high-scoring affair. Defense isn't great, so they're going to have to put up points, and that means a lot of shots against Brooklyn tomorrow night. I'm assuming that's why you like the rebounds?
Yeah. Not only that, LaMelo Ball is probably my favorite player to watch in the NBA. So, yeah, when healthy. So I watched a lot of the Hornets preseason. I want to see how the new rookie looked from Duke, Knippel, I believe his last name is. And what I saw was Miles Bridges attacking the boards with reckless abandon. So I was intrigued. In 5 preseason games, Miles Bridges 5, 10, 11, 7, and 8 rebounds. The game he had 5 rebounds was his last preseason game, and he only played the first half of the game, and he had 5 rebounds. But again, the other 4, 10, 11, 7, and 8. And in the game he had 7, he only played 24 minutes. He actually had 8 rebounds his first preseason game over 16 minutes. And not to get too enamored with the preseason, if you just look at him last season versus the Nets, he had games of 12, 13, 7, and 3. The three rebounds was his first game versus them, and then after that, he really rebounded well. The only caveat to this would be Moussa Diabate, who's an amazing rebounder. I think he's a second-year player for the Hornets, and he's an extremely good rebounder. He hustles a lot. But there were games where they both played Brooklyn last year where they both had double digit rebounds.
And LaMelo played in those games?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, LaMelo Ball played as well. So, I think that Miles Bridges is just and plus he's looking to get a contract, and that's gonna have a lot to do with the next guy I bet on. I like to bet on guys that are hungry to get paid and feel like they were underpaid or undervalued, and for personal reasons that will kind of make Miles Bridges a slime ball. He wasn't offered a contract. So, or at least he was offered a pretty low contract. So he's going to be looking to play the best that he can play and continue to get better.
Especially because Bridges actually did so well for us, making us money when LaMelo Ball was out most of last season in the second half. We were making money on the assists. We were making money on the points. Miles Bridges was awesome. We had a really good trend going for points and for the assists for Miles Bridges that the book never caught on to in games without LaMelo Ball. You talk about contracts, though, and Jalen Duren over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. They get the Chicago Bulls in Chicago tomorrow. Oh, boy, this seems enticing.
Yeah, so first off, athletic bigs against Nikola Vucevic is generally a good play, and Vucevic versus athletic centers who can't get out to the three-point line is generally a good play. He gives and takes. He scores well against them, and he gives up a bunch. So with that being said, you have Jalen Duren, one of the best rookies of his class, not offered or didn't agree to a rookie contract extension, which is, a pretty big deal when you look at guys like Christian Braun, obviously Jalen Green, a lot of guys, not that he was in the same class, but a lot of guys got a rookie contract extension. Duren, one of the best young centers in the league. I'm sure he felt a little slighted that his team wouldn't extend him to a number that he felt was appropriate. So I think you're going to get the best season of Duren's career. He's already an amazing passer for assists. Guys that followed me for a while remember us playing Jalen Duren 5 assists at plus 2,200 a couple years ago. Even last year, we were getting this 5 assists at plus 1,000. Yeah, he's a great passer. A lot of dribble handoff action with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, who's going to be out, but now they have Duncan Robinson. Beautiful dribble handoff action opportunities. He also played Chicago last year, and he went over this number all 4 games pretty easily. Some games with just rebounds, but he also had 3, 4, 5, and 5 assists in those games. We know Jalen Duren, great rebounder, but underrated, low-key passer. All right, so again, over this number, every game he played against the Bulls last year, against Vucevic in his career. He's only been in the league. This is his 3rd year. Since he started going against Vucevic, over this number in 7 of 10 career games, I think we're looking at a night where you could play his PRA. But obviously he's not a score-first guy. Mm-hmm. Cade can have an amazing game scoring, and maybe Duren only gets 12 or 13 points. But what I believe he's going to have a great game is on the board and passing. I don't think 14 rebounds and 4 assists is out of the realm of possibility. So go ahead and give me Duren over his 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Absolutely love the spot for him.